Hello, everybody. My name is Chelsea Wilson, and I blog over at Rookie Notes, where I blog about my life lessons and rookie mistakes. Feel free to check out my recent posts at rookienotes.wordpress.com, or you can peruse on this channel to see the variety of topics I talk about. I have a very special guest today. My guest is Erin Wilson. She's an engineer at ConocoPhilips down in Texas, and she also happens to be my cousin. In this interview, we're just going to get her insights on the engineering field and what exactly made her want to be an engineer. So without further ado, here's Erin Wilson. Hi, Erin.
Hi, Chelsea. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Thanks. Thanks for having me.
I am so glad that you agreed to be part of this interview because I'm like, especially, it's like college time and a lot of people, they're applying to college or they're college freshmen and they're wondering different career paths to go on. So it's awesome that I have an engineer here.
Yay. I'm excited.
All right. So, Erin, what made you want to become an engineer?
Well, as a child, I absolutely loved when anyone in my family would come home with any type of new electronic. I would make them instantly throw away the instructions that came with the electronics so that I could sit and figure out exactly how to put it together on my own. I thought it was really interesting, and that was fun to me as a child to figure out how to put parts together, how to figure out how that electronic functions as a whole. So that was considered fun as a child. My dad is also an electrical engineer. And so he always taught me that I have the skill sets that are necessary in order to become an engineer one day. So that was always my goal in life. I wanted to be just like my dad and become an engineer. It was also very rare to see any Black women who were in the engineering field, or let alone the STEM field in general. So I definitely wanted to seek a career that was different from your typical everyday career and try to be an inspiration to another young woman one day so they could see another Black woman in the field and want to aspire to be one as well.
Well, I think it's really interesting that you wanted to put together different parts and things when you're younger. That definitely was not me. So that was definitely a clue that you
sounds
be an engineer. That was definitely awesome. That's awesome. And also I read that like in the National Foundation of Sciences that less than 2% of women, Black women, are engineers. So you are definitely in the minority. How do you feel about that?
Absolutely. It actually feels good to be in the minority because it gives me a chance to represent Black women as a whole. We often sometimes see Black women portrayed in a negative light when you turn on your TV to your different shows. So I want to be able to kind of go out there and show people that do not look like us that we're just as intelligent. We can do the same things that you're doing. We have career paths as well that we aspire to follow through with, and it's possible. And so I definitely want to be that leader to someone else and show them that it is possible to go into the engineering field as a Black woman.
Well, that's definitely awesome. And I think that you're definitely an inspiration to many women and men who will watch this video later. Now, Erin, can you tell me about what educational path did you take to become an engineer?
Sure. So I went to Georgia Tech. I studied industrial engineering as my major. So with engineering, it's based mostly on math and science. So we really try to focus on the math aspect as an industrial engineer because we're really focused on the logistics piece of engineering within a company. So with engineering, it's going to require a lot of number crunching, a lot of analytical skills. But to be honest, I think that the classes themselves and the actual knowledge gained from the classes is not what helps me on a daily basis. I think it's the work ethic that shaped me into who I am as an engineer. At Georgia Tech, the classes are not easy. It's not a walk in the park whatsoever. It's a lot of studying involved, a lot of crying involved after walking out of a test that was nothing like you studied. So it was definitely an experience, but I think that the Georgia Tech experience definitely shapes me to being a hard worker. Whenever I get a task that I'm not sure how to complete, I know that if I could complete Georgia Tech, I can definitely get through this task as well, whether that's asking questions or doing my own personal research. I know that I have the ability and the intelligence in order to get the task done.
That's definitely important. I bet there were a lot of late nights that you had to spend in the library.
Absolutely. A lot of late nights, early mornings, tears, crying all the time. But it was good. It was good. It taught me a lot about myself and took me outside of my comfort zone of what I'm used to. In high school, it was somewhat of a breeze. It seemed like everything just came to me, but that is not how Georgia Tech works, and that's not how an engineering degree works whatsoever.
For those in high school, what classes would you recommend that they take? I know that you said math and sciences, but are there specific high school classes that people can take?
Well,
that you found helpful?
I found the AP math classes that we took at Baltimore Polytechnic Institute, yay Poly. But we took a lot of algebra classes, a lot of AP mathematics classes. I think all of those classes, again, shape you into a hard worker. They shape you into learning that it's not so easy just to complete a simple math problem and keep going. You actually have to sit and solve the problem. And if you don't know how to answer it, you have to do your research to figure that out. So any type of class that pushes you outside of your comfort zone is a great recommendation for engineering, because there are going to be many times that you're not going to know how to solve the issue at hand, and you need to know that it is okay to not know right away, as long as you have the abilities to ask those questions later on.
Yes, and she was mentioning Baltimore Polytechnic in Baltimore, Maryland. Hey, Polly.
Absolutely. Hey, Polly, class of 2009.
Can you, class of 2009, that makes us sound like we're getting old.
Oh my goodness, we're so old. So old.
Can you tell us what an average day is like for you being an engineer?
Sure. So I wouldn't say that I have an average day, unfortunately. I think every day is a little different because of the position that I have within ConocoPhilips. I work in the process excellence group. So our major focus is on developing and maintaining all of our current contracting processes. And our job is to basically continuously improve the way that ConocoPhilips operates as a supply chain unit. So because of that, every day or on a monthly basis, maybe not on a daily basis, but we get different projects that range from creating a brand new contract to just editing a little bit of another contract. So every day is different. There isn't a unique day. There isn't an average day for me, but it's unique, which I really like, because I don't know what to expect when I come into a new work week, which keeps it fun and interesting.
I think that's really interesting that you said that there's not an average day. So if anybody's looking for like flexibility in your career, would you say that engineering is the way to go?
Oh, absolutely. It's very flexible. And some other engineering positions may be a little more, you have your everyday daily routine, but not at ConocoPhillips in the supply chain unit. We do not have an every day I come in and at 8 a.m. I have to do this exact assignment. It's different, it ranges, but again, that makes your job very flexible. It gives you the opportunity to learn different aspects of the company, work on different projects that'll shape and develop your skills as a whole.
What are some of the benefits and drawbacks of being an engineer?
Wow, I'd say the benefits are you get to network with so many different people. You work with the suppliers, you work with the operations team in the company, you also work with the finance team. I think that engineers, especially in supply chain, kind of unify all of the different units within the company. So the networking aspect of it is awesome. I love to meet different cultures. I love to work with different personalities, because it diversifies my network and allows me to learn how to work with any type of person. Not everyone is easy to work with, but those are skills that you need in life. So I love that part of engineering. I also say, like I said previously, I think that it's good to get outside of your comfort zone and to push yourself to all the potential that you have. So as an engineer, you never know what's coming your way. You don't know how severe a project is, or if you're on a time-sensitive project. So it keeps it exciting, and it gets you working and get your brain moving, which is always good. So I love that aspect as well. I don't think there are any drawbacks to engineering. Some would say long work hours, but I think that depends on your company as a whole. But I wouldn't say that there are any major drawbacks for me as an engineer. I love it.
That's definitely legit. That's really cool. You mentioned that you had to work with different kinds of people and different personalities. And I know firsthand that can be a little bit it's an experience.
Absolutely.
So with that said, do you work more in group settings or in individual settings?
It's a little bit of both. So of course, everyone has their individual assignments or I would say goals that you develop in the beginning of the year that you want to accomplish. in that next work year. But with those assignments, you work with other people. And so maybe someone on your team has one aspect of the project and you have the other, and then they come together as a whole for the final product. So you are going to work with different people on your team, but you will also have individual aspects of your project as well. But again, it's about networking and asking those questions and getting different perspectives from different people, even if you do have an individual assignment. Two brains is always better than one. So you definitely want to reach out to other people and work together as a team.
That's definitely important. Okay, Erin, now I know this might be a touchy subject, but would you feel comfortable with sharing the average salary of someone in your position? And with that said, how many years have you been on the job?
Sure. So I've been working since January of 2014. So it's been, I guess, a year and 4 months already. Time is flying. I feel like I just started last month, which is crazy, but about a year and a half now. The average salary, I think, I would say it's a pretty large range. I would say that you would probably start, I think the lowest I've heard maybe is like about 65,000 all the way up until maybe like 110,000. So I think it depends on what company you're working for, but the salary does range, but it's great. I mean, coming out of college, making that kind of money is awesome, especially when you're so used to having a college small budget and counting every penny that you have into going into work and making that kind of money. It's awesome. And loving what you do at the same time. So you get the best of both worlds. You get paid well and you enjoy what you're doing. So in summary, it's a pretty good salary.
I think that's fabulous. Not being too specific. Oh no, I think that a lot of people, they want to know that information. And so that's great that you provided that. Yeah, that I'm not mad at you. Go ahead. What would be your rookie notes about going into this field? What kind of advice would you give to someone who's interested in becoming an engineer?
Sure, I would say number one in really anything that you do is having confidence. Confidence is major. You want to be sure that you put your mind to exactly what you're working on. So if you already say in advance that you can do whatever it takes in order to reach that goal, that's important. You definitely want to have that confidence in yourself. I apologize for my dog barking in the background. I would also say you want to have a strong work ethic. Again, you're going to be challenged a lot in the different projects and assignments, or even when you're in school, the different tests that you have. You will be challenged. It will not be an easy task. So you want to have that strong work ethic to be sure that you get through all of those hard times. I would also say the networking piece is very important as well. You want to be able to converse with other people and learn different cultures and learn different personalities, because you're going to work with so many different types of people. And you definitely need that skill set of talking and conversing with someone that doesn't look like you, or someone who hasn't experienced anything that you've experienced. So I think those three things are really important. Of course, you have your education side of things. You need to have the engineering background of the math and science and all of that good stuff. But I think if you have that self-confidence and your networking capabilities, you'll be fine.
That's really good advice. Have you ever had a mentor to help you through the way?
Oh, I've had so many mentors throughout my career, my college career, as well as my career now. And I try to have a different range of mentors. I have some who are young and new hires as well, versus some who have been working for the company for 30 plus years, because they're different perspectives. So as a college new hire, you have a fresh mindset, you have a fresh perspective of how you can make a difference in the company, versus someone who's been there for 30 years and they're used to the exact same process, and they can guide you through that process as well. So you want to have the best of both worlds and get advice from different perspectives, but you definitely need a mentor to help you and guide you throughout your career. That's very crucial. I don't know if I would be where I am today without all of my mentors.
So you guys, high school and college students, definitely reach out to somebody, get a mentor to help you through the way. It's Absolutely. Always good to have the community.
And it's always good to have more than one mentor. You don't have to choose just one. There are different, like I said, perspectives and different people who are always willing to help you and reach out.
Very nice. Now, Erin, you've made it a huge stepping stone becoming an engineer, graduated from college. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years? Do you still plan on doing engineering?
Absolutely. I see myself at least being a manager. At the very least, I would love to go up to the next level and kind of give my guidance to someone else. Again, like I said, it's always been a goal of mine to reach out to other people and to guide others. So I love it. I would love to be a supervisor and have that type of role. I also want to get more involved in the community. I've been highly considering opening up a nonprofit with all that's going on in our Black community these days. I think it's really important to have that mentorship available. And so I would love to start some type of nonprofit or get into the school system to start a mentoring program for those who need help or for those who are just reaching out for someone to listen to them. I think that's very crucial with our youth today, that they don't have too many people who are willing to actually listen and to help them and to guide them into where they should be in life. So that's a goal of mine. I foresee myself doing that in the next 5 years, hopefully. But I definitely want to stay in the engineering field, and I love ConocoPhillips. I would love to stay with my company as well, into a supervisor role. That would be awesome. One day, hopefully being on the executive leadership.
One day, I've already got you there. You will be there. I'll look up and be like, oh, Erin, so can you tell us about your supervisor, manager role?
Speak it into existence early. I'm a strong believer. Speak it into existence and pray about it, and it will happen.
Definitely. Now, you mentioned volunteering. Can you tell us about the volunteer work that you currently do?
Sure. So I do something called Junior Achievement, and with that, it allows for corporate. If you're in the corporate world, they allow you to come out while you're working and to actually teach at high elementary as well. But I chose to do high school just because they're going to be going into their college career soon, and they're closer in age to me so that they can relate. So I go once a week and I teach finance. So I teach them what it means to budget. I teach them what it means to open up a bank account. Because that's very important these days, and a lot of people are not aware of what investing actually means. So I go out and I teach different lesson plans in order to get them acclimated to opening up an actual bank account, getting a job, the importance of getting a job, how to interview for those jobs, what to do to prepare for that. So it's basically a life-shaping class that I've turned it into. I'm supposed to focus on finance, but I really enjoy kind of giving life advice to my high school students. So I do that with the Junior Achievement Program. I also work with our rodeo run committee. ConocoPhillips hosts a rodeo run 5K every year, and we raise money to give out for scholarships to high school students. As you guys can see, obviously I love education. So the scholarships help a high school student go to college. It pays for their books, it pays for their tuition. And so I really enjoy giving back in that aspect. So we plan the run every year. We have over 12,000 runners, so it's always a good time. And lastly, I am involved in our Black Employee Network at ConocoPhillips. So it's our mission to circulate our culture around the company and to educate those who do not look like us what our culture actually means, and also to get to know other cultures as well. So I thoroughly enjoy participating in the Black Employee Network.
Man, you are some kind of busy. You are definitely a phenomenal woman, and I am so glad to be able to showcase you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. I really enjoyed it.
Well, if you have any questions, be sure to email me at rickynotes@gmail.com. And Erin, would you be a contact for anybody who would be interested in, possibly becoming an engineer?
Oh, absolutely. Please do not hesitate to contact me at any time, whether that's email, that's by text message, phone call, Facebook, Instagram, whatever it takes for you to reach out to me. Please do not hesitate to do that. I would love to help you and guide you in whatever way you need me.
Okay, and what is your email, just in case somebody's watching?
Sure, my email address is erin.wilson710@gmail.com. Again, it's erin.wilson710@gmail.com. Please do not hesitate to email me.
There you have it, folks. Again, Erin, thank you so much for being part of this interview. I am just honored to have such an inspirational and phenomenal woman in my life. Aww. And for future interviews, if you would like to be interviewed to be on Ricky Notes, feel free to contact me again at rickynotes@gmail.com, 2 S's, or catch me on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Until next time, Chelsea.